Hi there, my name is Emma-Jayne and you are very welcome to your yoga practice today. You will need 2 blocks and we are going to use our time to work a little more into our hips. This will be a good opportunity to move away from what's happening in the news. I know that if you are in the UK, we have just went back into lockdown, and Ireland as well, and so just a good chance to move away from those things, become a little more realigned with yourself on your mat. So folks, I'm going to start by sitting on top of this little block, giving my hips a little bit more space, crossing my legs, and just plant my hands on top of my knees. I want you to slowly pull your shoulders back as if they're trying to be directly over top of your hips. And just breathe. In through the nose, and out through the nose. As you begin to shut off all those other things happening in your mind, closing the tabs of the computer that are just hovering around all the time. Begin to focus in on how that breath feels as you inhale and as you exhale. Notice any tension you're holding in your shoulders. Perhaps bring your chin slightly towards your chest. And if you're familiar with Ujjayi breathing, you can begin to move into that. Pushing the breath as you exhale over the back of the throat, out through the nose. Deeper inhales. Longer exhales. And as we move through our practice today, folks, I would like to invite you to think upon this little quote. I came across it this morning. I thought it was very apt for just where we are at as a culture, as a population at the moment. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. I'll say it again. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future. So if you're like me and you have got anxieties about what the next week, month, year looks like, pulling it into the present, into these single little happy moments, will give you a much better ability to move forward with joy. Which is really important. I want to invite each one of you to slowly bring your hands onto your stomach. Let them just rest there. And you're going to inhale for the count of 4, breathing in. And sigh it away. Breathing in for the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sighing it away. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. And again, breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Letting it go. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time, folks. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Letting go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Deep inhale. Sigh it away. Allow your eyes to flicker open. And folks, slowly draw the soles of the feet together. You can keep sitting on that little block if you want, or you can move it out of the way, whatever feels better for you. Bring ourselves into Baddha Konasana. If this is the first little bit of hip movement you've done all day, be really gentle. You might even want to bring your legs into more of that baseball diamond shape instead of pulling the heels in. It's up to you. I'm going to go a bit easier. So just grab hold of the shin. And as you inhale, pull the heart forward. As you exhale, draw your chin to your chest, rounding back. We're going to continue to do this. Inhale and exhale. Breathing in and letting go. Breathing in and letting go. Almost like a cat-cow movement. Inhale. You can pick your chin up here. Exhale, send it back, working into the hips as you do so. One more, breathing in and breathing out. Nice, folks. Come back to your center. Slowly allow that left hand to creep up onto the left knee, and then the right hand can follow. So you've got just a gentle twist here. Inhale, pull your gaze towards me, and as you exhale, slowly using that right hand, twist around. Left hand can come down beside or behind the hip. Breathing steadily. If you're feeling a little stiff from either working out or you've just woken up, or in general, be gentle as you move here. Listen to all the little parts of your body that are switching on. And then slowly bring it back around. And then just allow that right hand to find the right knee. Left hand can join on top. Inhale, gaze and heart towards me. And as you exhale, use that left hand to guide yourself around. Right hand finding just behind the hip. And if you're doing this just after breakfast or just after a big dinner, this probably goes without saying, but don't push it too far in those twists. You're going to feel it. All your food in your tummy. And then slowly bring it back around. Slowly draw those knees together and make your way into a tabletop position. You can have your toes tucked, plant the hands onto the ground. I want you to bring your knees just a little wider than your hips and begin to make some big exaggerated circles. Send the hips over to the right and bring them around to the heels, over to the left, and then over the top of the hands, working into those wrists a little. Send it towards that right hip, to the left hip, up towards the left hand, over to the right. Do that one more time. Be as dramatic as you need, as you want. And then, folks, just changing direction. Nice. Beautiful. Slowly bring it back to center. Bring the knees back in underneath the hips. Inhale, lower the stomach, pull the heart through. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding that back. Beautiful. Inhaling and exhaling. And one more, breathing in and letting go, chin to chest, rounding that back. Take 3 breaths right here. In those quiet moments when I ask you to focus in on your breath, might I encourage you to draw it into the present moment. I would have often found myself in those quieter moments of yoga, pulling onto what I'm making for dinner, what I need to get for someone. Just be present on your mat. Lower that torso down into the nice neutral tabletop position. Beautiful. So what I want you to do, folks, I'll show you what it looks like from the side. So you're going to be on your hands and on your knees, just as you are. And all you're going to do is inhale, extend that right leg out behind you, toes pointing down. And as you exhale, pull that right leg out to the right side. Toes pointing towards me. And then you can just begin to lower the toes down onto the ground. So you're in this little gate pose variation. And you're just going to rock yourself back and forth. So right leg is extended out. Toes are firmly planted on the floor. So if you're in this position and your foot is kind of on that inner edge, or you feel it's a little uneven, just readjust yourself. And then you can begin to walk those hands in back towards you. Bring your hands onto your hips. Take a little look down towards that right ankle. Make sure it's in line with the right hip. And you're going to slowly act as if someone is pulling your hips over to the left side. So it's just tilting that pelvis a little bit more. I know it doesn't look anything monumental, but you're probably feeling it all on the inside of your leg. And then slowly bring it back to a bit more stability. And then just one more time, slowly imagine someone's pulling the hips over to the left side. and then bring it back. Nice. You're going to slowly bring your hands down to the ground. Bring that right leg out behind you, push the toes onto the floor, and just begin to rock yourself back and forth, working into that calf. I should have probably thought about that. A little movement when I have this big wall right behind me. And then slowly return that right knee in underneath the right hip, and then you're just going to extend the left leg and then bring it out to the side. Plant those toes down. Rock yourself back and forth. That might be enough. If it feels really tight and intense, just be gentle with yourself. Adjust the foot as you need. And then you can begin to walk those hands back towards you. Bring your hands onto your hips. And all you're going to do is imagine someone's pulling your hips over to the right side. So even if you want to use that left hand pushing into the left hip, that left foot firm onto the floor, and then bring it back to just that complete balance stability. So even with that leg extended, your hips can be somewhat balanced, but as you begin to push it just again over to that right side, you'll notice it's a little more intense. And then bring it back. Nice. Plant your hands to the ground. Bring that left foot behind you as I kick the wall, and then plant the toes down, rock yourself back and forth. Walk into into your calves, or working into it, not walking. And then slowly bring your knees down. Beautiful. I want you to bring your knees wide onto the mat, toes together. And as you exhale, draw your chin to your chest, arching, rounding back through into a child's pose, sinking onto your heels. Arms are extended so your shoulders remain engaged. You can lower your forehead down to the ground. And just breathe. Maybe rock your forehead one way and then the other. If it's a little too intense on your shoulders, bend the elbows, plant them onto the mat. Nice, folks. Give yourself a little moment. The wider your knees are, the more space your torso has to sink in between. Again, remember in these quiet moments, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. So try not to allow things to be pulled ahead by an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 2 years, whatever it might be. And slowly push those hands down into the mat. Peel yourself up. Bring the knees back in underneath the hips. And folks, as you inhale, tuck your toes, pick the knees up, keep them hovering for a little moment, switching on your core. Shoulders are over top of the wrists, knees are hovering. You are breathing. And then just lower down and give yourself a moment. This is waking up your wrists as well, so just be gentle if they feel a little tender. Inhale, pick the knees up. Let them hover there. And lower down. And one more time, we're going to lift up each foot a little bit off the floor. So if you don't want to do that, you are welcome to skip it. But if you want to give it a go, you can join me. Inhale, pick the knees up. Spread the fingers wide, feel the heels of the hand pushing into the mat, and slowly pick that right foot up. You can pick that right knee up and then lower it down. You'll notice that standing leg or balancing leg gets a little more work. Picking up that left leg, pushing the heel to the ceiling. Keep that right knee as low as it was when both feet or knees were lifted. You can lower down. And then folks, slowly make your way to a downward facing dog. Pedal those feet out as much as you need. Begin to listen into your body. As you try and draw that lower part of your stomach towards the thighs, you might need to bend your knees to flatten that back. Nice. Beginning to slowly straighten one leg, bend the other. Inhale, pick up your heels, and as you exhale, bend the knees, walk your way to the very top of your mat, as many little steps as you would like to fit in. Inhale to halfway lift, flattening your back. And as you exhale, folding forward, head to hang heavy. Maybe you want to grab opposite elbow. Maybe you want to nod your head yes, shake your head no. Feel yourself pulling towards the mat, pulling towards the ground. And folks, don't put too much pressure on yourself to get this flat fold. Bend the knees as much as you need that support for your back. If you've been sitting at a desk for the last 30 years, bend your knees. Inhale to rise up, allow the fingers to glide up the legs. Inhale to reach up high. And exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment or two in the present right here. Spread your toes wide, roll the shoulders back. Palms are touching. And let's move through some half salutations. Inhale to reach up high. Palms to touch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flattening your back. Exhale to fold once more. Inhale to rise up, reaching your hands up high. Exhale, hands to heart. Find a flow with your breath. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale to halfway. Exhale to fold once more. Uttanasana. Inhale to rise up, reaching your hands overhead. Palms to touch, and exhale, hands to heart. Inhale. And exhale, fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale to reach up. You got this. And exhale, hands to heart. One more, folks. Inhale. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, folding forward. Nice. Inhale to rise up, reaching your hands up high. And exhale, hands to heart. Chin to chest. Finding that breath. On your next exhale, bring your hands down beside your hips, keeping your eyes closed. Feel yourself firmly rooted down into your mat, into the present. Notice how you are able to control not only your breath, but where your mind begins to pull away to. Gently reel it back in. Folks, continue on as we flow through our classical Surya Namaskar A. It is a beautiful little flow. If you need blocks for Anjanasana, that low lunge, go ahead and grab them. I'll bring some up here. And folks, inhale to reach your hands up high. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to halfway lift, flattening your back, and as you exhale, step that right foot back. I want you to drop the knee right here. Just begin to send your hips back and forth. Use the blocks as you need. Nice. Just notice how it feels. This is just a first round working into that low lunge. You can untuck the back toes if you need. And then bring yourself into your low lunge, Anjanasana. Inhale, reach your hands up high. Tuck that tailbone, palms to touch overhead. Exhale, framing that left foot. Tuck the right toes. Step back to your plank pose. Remember, you can always drop your knees here if it feels a little too intense. Bring yourself onto your tippy toes. shoulders over top of the wrists. And exhale, lower down through chaturanga. Inhale, pull yourself up into your up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Find your comfortable place in down dog. Inhale, reach that right leg high. Exhale, step that foot through in between the hands. You can always shimmy the foot up if you need. Lower that left knee down. Begin to rock yourself back and forth. I was considering whether or not to record this video today for my hips. I was doing a little bit of weightlifting, nothing crazy over the weekend, and I definitely am feeling it, and I thought I can't be called honest yoga if I'm not honestly showing up with who I am and how I am, so my hips are definitely a little tighter today. So folks, get yourself comfortable. Inhale, reach your hands up overhead, palms to touch, tuck that tailbone, and exhale, framing your foot. Nice. Tuck the left toes, step up to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise up. Reach your hands high. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's move to that left side. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step that left foot back this time. Drop the knee, flat the foot. You can rock yourself back and forth if you need those blocks. Or you can just keep your hands framing the foot, fingers or hands are tented. And then inhale, reaching up high, tuck your tailbone, palms touching. Exhale, frame the foot, anchor the left toes into the floor, step back into your plank pose. Remember, you can drop the knees. If not, bring yourself onto your tippy toes. Heel the hand, pushing into the mat. Exhale through chaturanga. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale into that beautiful downward dog. Inhale, left leg, reaching up high. You got it. Exhale, stepping it through. In between your hands, lower the right knee, untuck the right toes, finding that little rock, that little bit of free movement that you know works best for you. And if that free movement doesn't work for you, just hang tight, stay still, hands framing the foot. And then folks, inhale, reach your hands up high, tuck that tailbone, palms to touch. And exhale, frame your foot, tuck the right toes, step to the top of your mat. Inhaling, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Nice. Inhale, reach your hands up high. And exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment or two right here. And then slowly bring your hands down beside your hips. Roll the shoulders back, mountain pose. Now folks, let's go a little further into this flow. Inhale, reach your hands up high, palms touching, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And this time as you exhale, step back to your downward facing dog. Pull your hips skyward, palms pushing into the mat. Shoulders are strong as you're here. Inhale, reach that right leg up high, and as you exhale, bend the knee. Try and bring that right foot over to the left side of your body. And then slowly bring the knee back in line. Step it through in between your hands. You got it. Give yourself a little moment, and then lower that knee down. Tuck the toes. Inhale, reach up high. Tuck your tailbone, palms touching. Exhale, framing the foot. Anchor the left hand down. Inhale, reach that right hand up high. Now you can stay here, or if you want to go a little deeper, you can bend that left leg, bring that right hand around, and grab hold of the left toes. If it feels really difficult for you, you feel really far away, you can put the left hand on top of a block. It'll give you a little more height for you to grab hold. That right shoulder is spiraling back, your heart is open. Slowly pull that left heel towards your left bottom or glute. It's probably a little more professional to say glute, isn't it, than bottom. And then slowly release that left foot. Try not to catapult it, bring the right arm around. You can move that block out of the way if you want. Tuck the left toes, step back to your plank. Flow through your vinyasa, or with me, exhaling to lower. Inhale, pull yourself up and through. Exhale, downward facing dog. So let's do the same on your left side, keeping everything balanced, everything stable. Notice if one side feels a little more difficult than the other. Inhale, reach that left leg high. Bend the knee as you exhale. You want to keep your shoulders square. You want to keep that right knee still pointing to the top of the mat as you try and open that left hip. And then slowly bring that left knee back in line. Step it through in between your hands. Beautiful. Drop that right knee. You can untuck the right toes. Inhale, reach your hands up overhead. Tuck that tailbone. And as you exhale, framing that foot. Firming that right hand to the ground or to the block, depending on where you want to go. Inhale. Reach that left hand up high, left shoulder stacked on top of the right, and then send the hand back. Pull that right heel in, grabbing hold. Remember, you can pop a block underneath that right hand if you want. Left shoulder spiraling open. Breath is steady. And then slowly release. Try not to catapult that leg back. Bringing it back around. Tuck the right toes, step back into your plank. Come up onto your tiptoes and exhale to lower. Inhale up and through. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a moment or two right here. Reconnect with your down dog, reconnect with your present moment. You can take a child's pose, you can take another vinyasa if you choose. I love this time in my in-person classes because you really see people moving into this flow that they have created. It's so fun to watch. So I'll just pretend I'm watching it. Maybe that's weird. But give yourself a moment, child's pose, vinyasa, down dog. And we'll all meet back on the mat in a child's pose together, so in your own time. As you lower down, maybe your hands need a bit of a break, so you can bring them down beside your feet. Your arms resting on your thighs. Breathing steadily in and out. Give yourself a little moment. And then, folks, you can reach those arms right ahead of you. And just begin to walk them back. So you pick yourself up, you're either sitting on your heels or you're sitting onto your bottom, whatever works for you. I'm going to walk us through this next part of our time together, give you a little bit of time to see what it looks like and then to pick some options. Use the blocks if you need to. I know that at some point I will definitely want to use the blocks. So we will start at the top of our mat again. I'll show what it looks like and then we can do it together. But you'll start at the top of the mat. Your feet will be a little wider than your hips, your toes turned out, your heels in. Give yourself a little moment to kind of adjust when you're there. And we're going to move into what's called malasana. So if you just feel that you cannot come into a squat in any shape or form, don't worry, pop the blocks underneath. So you'll inhale, reach your hands up high, and as you exhale, sinking down, notice that my heels are firmly planted on the floor or on the mat. At any moment when your heel starts to lift, that's where you stop. That is as far as your squat needs to go. Some people will get into it really easy, others might just want to stay here for a moment, and you can always move the blocks out of the way, bring yourself into that full Malasana pose. You feel your elbows pushing into those knees, pushing them a little wider. And then this takes a whole lot of strength, but you are capable, I promise. Evenly spread your weight into your feet and then stand up. Inhale. Exhale, fold. You can make your way into your downward facing dog. You can pop those little blocks out to the side. Just as we did, we'll open up our hip. We'll step it through into our lunge. Now you are welcome here to keep that knee lifted, palms will touch. Lowering down, make your way into that little quad stretch. Release. Bring your hand to the inside of your foot. Walk your foot as wide as the mat. Again, you can use the blocks here as you make your way into lizard lunge. Your shoulder and your knee are going to be in line with one another. We'll spend a moment or two right there, and then you'll slowly step up. Walk wide, fold, bring it up, make your way into a triangle. Don't worry, you don't have to remember all of this on your own. I just want to show you where you're going to. And then step back and flow through your vinyasa. So, before you freak out too much, give yourself a little pep talk and make your way into downward facing dog. I believe in you. I know you're capable. So feel the heaviness of your head in that downward facing dog. Pedal the feet out as much as you want, as much as you need. And inhale, pick up the heels. Exhale, push them back. Inhaling. And exhaling. One more, breathing in. And breathing out. Bring the feet together, toes are touching, big toes are touching. Lift the heels up and begin to tiptoe your way to the front of your mat. As you arrive at the top, bring your feet wide, heels in, toes out. Inhale, flatten your back, and exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly roll up. Reach your hands up high, and as you exhale, hands to heart. Now folks, pull it into the present. And let's flow. Inhale to reach up high. Exhale, lowering down through into your Malasana, lowering your hips. The moment those heels start to lift, that's where you stop. Feel, or if you're able to, bring your elbows into your inner thighs, your knees, and I'll show you what this will look like if your squat isn't very deep. You got this, breathing steadily. See if you can go a little lower. And folks, spread the toes, picking up. Inhale to reach up high. Exhale to fold. Draw those feet back together a little closer. Inhale, halfway lift, flattening your back. And as you exhale, step into your down dog, pulling the hips high. Wonderful. I know Malasana for some people is the worst, but you can do this. Inhale, reach that right leg high. As you exhale, bend the knee. Draw the foot over to the left side. Keep that left knee facing forward. Your shoulders are still square. And then bring your knee in line. Step it through. Make your way into either your low lunge or your crescent lunge. Inhale, reaching up high, palms touching. Exhale, framing that foot. Drop your left knee down here. Inhale, reach that right hand up and bring it around into that little quad stretch. If it's available for you, right shoulder spiraling open. Slowly release. Lower that left foot down. Bring the right hand to the inside of that right foot. Walk your right foot as wide as the mat. That's a little guide that I like to go from. And if this is enough for you, stay here. This is your lizard lunge. If you want to go deeper, you can lower your forearms down. You can pick that back leg up. You can use a block or 2 or 3 to rest your forearms on. Focus in on your breath. We're spending a few moments right here. Try and get yourself into a position that if I said we're going to be here for 10 minutes, you'll be okay with. Don't worry, I promise we're not going to be here for 10 minutes. You can slowly pick those hands under the shoulders. Inhale, lower the stomach, pull the heart through, almost like a little cat-cow. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding that back. Inhale into your cow pose or variation. Exhale, chin to chest. Nice. Folks, tuck the toes if they're not already. Walk your hands over to the left side until you find yourself in a forward fold or in a wide-legged stance. Inhale, peel yourself up only halfway and exhale into that forward fold. Maybe bring your hands onto your calves, onto your ankles. You can do it. Not only is this good for your hips, it's great for your mental health. Having your hips higher than your head. Folks, as you inhale, feel as if you're trying to pull that lower stomach towards your inner thighs. Inhale, halfway lift, hands going up the legs, your back is flat. Exhale, fold a little deeper if it's available to you. If you're really, really flexible, folks, you might want to bring your feet in a little closer as you fold. Gives you a little more of a stretch. If you want to bring the feet wider, it's up to you. Folks, inhaling to halfway lift, flattening that back. Make sure your feet are an appropriate width apart so that when you go into triangle, it doesn't feel a little crazy. You're going to slowly bring yourself up to standing. Turn those right toes to the side. Inhale, hands out in line with the shoulders, and as you exhale, feel yourself slowly being pulled forward and lower down into your triangle. Right hand connecting to the inside of that right leg, resting on the shin, or even on a block if you feel that it would be more supportive for you. I do not mind. If you haven't already figured out, I'm definitely someone who's just like, if it works for your body, go ahead and do it. Nice. Slowly bring yourself back up from your triangle pose. And then cartwheel your hands, framing that right foot. Pick up the left heel, turn the toes towards you. Step back into your plank. That should feel pretty nice as you exhale, lower down through chaturanga. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice. Take a breath or two here. Again, take another vinyasa. Take a down dog, take a child's pose, take a drink of water. I don't mind, whatever feels best for you in this very moment. We'll each make our way back to a down dog wherever you're at. Bring the feet together. Those big toes touching. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, pull them back. Inhale. And exhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. And then one more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, lift the heels, and this time tiptoe your way forward to the top of your mat. Walk the feet a little wider, toes out, heels in. Inhale, halfway lift, flattening your back. Exhale, fold, head to hang heavy. Inhale to rise up, reaching your hands up high. Exhale, hands to heart. Taking 2 breaths here, they're all yours. Let's move into that final malasana. Inhale, reaching up high. Exhale, begin to lower down. Back is as if it's flat against a wall. Take a little look and make sure your knees are in line with those feet. So if you feel like your knees are too far in or too far out, adjust your feet so that there is comfort, but also just safety. Your knee joints do not need any more pressure in general. Spread those toes wide, pushing the heels down into the mat. Slowly pick yourself up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, fold forward. Bring the soles or the feet in close together. Inhale, halfway lift, and as you exhale, step back to your downward facing dog. Nice. Inhale, reach that left leg up high, and as you exhale, bend the knee, opening up that hip. Keep your shoulders square, that right knee pulling towards the front of the room. And then slowly bring the knee back in line, step it through in between your hands. Remember, you can take a crescent or a low lunge here, it's your call. Inhale to reach up high, palms touching. Left hip pulling back, right hip pulling forward. Exhale, framing that left foot, drop the right knee, untuck the toes, anchor the right hand down. Inhale, left hand reaching up. It's up to you if you want to reach that left hand back, grab hold of the right foot into that nice little quad stretch. Remember, you can also pop a little block underneath your hand. And then just slowly release. Bring that left hand to the inside of the left foot. Set yourself up for your lizard, walking that left foot a little wider. You can drop your forearms down. You can tuck those toes, pick the knee up. You can use your blocks. I'm trying to be extra just listening to my own body. It's funny, the reason I think I say it so often about listening to your own body is because for so long I just ignored all these cues that my body was giving me to slow down, to do something different. And not only do you end up just getting injured like that or not recovering properly, you're just not very happy. Breathing steadily. Remember, keeping your mind in the present, pulling that left shin towards the left shoulder. And then bring your hands in underneath the shoulders. Inhale, pull the heart forward, lift the gaze. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding that back. You should feel this in that little bit of compression in the left hip. Inhale and exhale. And again, breathing in and breathing out. Nice, one more, breathing in and breathing out. Beautiful. Tuck those right toes, pick up the right knee, begin to walk your hands to the center of the mat around the right side. Bring your feet in line. I'll turn to the other side, just so I'm not facing the wrong direction. But you're in this nice little fold position, or in this wide leg position. You're going to inhale, flatten your back, and as you exhale, fold yourself forward. Grab hold of those ankles. Feel as if you're pulling your lower stomach towards the inner thigh. And that there's even distribution of the weight on your feet. Inhale, halfway lift, flattening your back. And exhale, folding forward once again, seeing if you can go a little deeper. Inhale to halfway lift. Folks, if you need to adjust those feet before triangle pose, go ahead and do so. Bring your hands to your hips, rising up. Now I'm doing this the opposite way. I guess it'll look a bit funny, but turning your left foot out. So your left toes are pointing forward, that right foot is still pointing towards me. Bring your arms in line with the shoulders, inhaling. And as you exhale, torso pulling forward, lowering down into your triangle pose. Now, if you need a block, go ahead and grab it. If you want to go with your hand resting on your ankle, you can do that too. And then slowly bring yourself back up. Nice. Cartwheeling your hands, framing that left foot. Lifting the right heel, turn the toes towards you, step into your plank and flow through your vinyasa in your own time. Exhaling to lower, inhaling your heart up and through. Exhale. Finding your downward facing dog, spending an extra breath or two right here. Nice. Lower your knees down to the ground. Walk your hands back so you're sitting onto your heels. Give yourself a little moment. Inhale to reach both hands up high, and as you exhale, left hand shooting forward, right hand shooting back. A little twist. Inhale, palms to touch overhead. Bring it back. Exhale, right hand forward, left hand back. Inhale, back to center, palms to touch overhead. Exhale, hands down onto the mat, knees, hips width distance. Beautiful. Inhale, reach that right leg out behind you. And as you exhale, slowly bring that right knee towards the right elbow and back towards the midline. And continue to make these big, grand circles. Just one more. And switching direction. Bring your knee towards the elbow, out to the side, back to the center. And then settle that knee back down, beautiful. And then just the same, draw that left knee to the left elbow, out to the side, although I think we did it the other way, or the other side, inhaling and exhaling. All you need to do is make a big circle with your knee. And switching direction. Nice. Beautiful work. Slow, steady, consistent and present. Bring that knee back in underneath the hip. And then begin to walk them wide, toes together, hips sinking back for a final little child's pose. Pop your forehead onto the ground. Bring your hands over top of your head in a prayer position. And then slowly bring your hands back up or onto the ground. Bring yourself back up and make your way into a comfortable seat, crossing your legs. So you might feel that your knees or your hips, feel a little more comfortable. So just as we did at the start, bring your soles of your feet together into that Baddha Konasana. See if you can pull the heels in just a little bit more. And then interlace the fingers over the tops of the toes, or if it felt good for you, on your shins. Inhale, pull the heart forward. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding through. Inhale. And exhale. And again, breathing in and breathing out. And one more. And chin to chest. Nice. Slowly bring it back to that neutral position. Bring the left hand to the left knee, right hand to follow. Inhale, pull your torso towards me, your gaze, and as you exhale, bring that left hand behind you. Slowly twist. Nice, folks. And then just slowly release, bring it back. And let's just do the same on the other side. So bring that left hand to the right knee. Right hand to the right knee, left hand on top. This is what happens all the time. I get so relaxed and so chilled out. Inhale, pull the torso forward, and as you exhale, slowly using that left hand to pull yourself around, right hand behind the right hip. Breathing steadily. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. Towards the end of a class where I really feel like I've been able to wind down, I'd be like, left hand here, right hand here. So I guess it is a good indicator. And then slowly bring it back to center. Guide the knees back in. And folks, make your way down onto your back. Lowering down. Hug your knees in, Appanasana, into your chest. Bring your chin slightly towards your chest, and then folks, if you want to have any other little poses, go ahead. You're welcome to, but I'm gonna encourage you to end this practice with the soles of the feet together, knees out to the side, and then your hands resting onto your stomach. Your elbows can go a little wider too. If you want to add a little blanket, go ahead, pop a little eye mask over top of your eyes. You are welcome to. And before you allow yourself to disconnect entirely, I want you to take a deep breath in through the nose and sigh it away. 2 more just like that. Breathing in, letting go. 1 more, breathing in and release. Let your shoulders melt back, the skin around your eyes to soften. And know that your happiness in the present is not dependent upon an anxious future. You don't need to worry about the future when you are in this present moment. There are plenty of unknowns in life, but there are a lot of known things. The sensation of being here. How you felt throughout that practice. How you feel as you breathe in and as you breathe out. beginning to slowly bring yourself back to a little more awareness, a little more attention to the sensations you feel on the mat, to the inhale and to the exhale. Beginning to move your fingers, twinkle those toes. And as you inhale, reaching your arms out behind you, stretching the legs out long. That should feel wonderful if you are in that Baddha Konasana. Pull your knees into your chest and allow your body to rock over to the right side. Take a little moment right here. A little bit of additional comfort. And in your own time, make your way up into a comfortable seat, crossing your legs as you arrive. Keep your eyes closed as best you're able, and bring your hands to heart center, elbows pushing out to the side. Let's finish our time together with 3 deep breaths, but before we do that, pull your shoulders back just as we did at the start so that they are over top of your hips. Inhaling and release. Breathing in and letting go. And final breath, inviting it in and release. Allow your eyes to flicker open. And thank you for your practice today. It was wonderful to have you. May you feel more at peace, more aligned, and more happy in that present moment. Thanks. Have a great day.